Alrighty guys, so welcome back to the channel. It is currently 12:25 a.m. on August 3rd, 2024, and as you can see on the screen, we have had a major development here with our potential tropical cyclone. It is now, according to the National Hurricane Center, Tropical Depression 4. We still have Hurricane Carlotta in the eastern Pacific, and I don't believe we've gone any new areas of investigation. We have not yet. So we'll go in, take a look at the new changes that have happened with Tropical Depression 4. And in the meantime, I'm also going to pull up a live stream here on my TV. That way I can watch it while I'm doing this video for you guys. Texas storm tracers are showing it. Um, Rainbow's on as well. Is Force 13 on for it yet? If not, I'll just go with that and I'm muting it. But yeah, that looks way more defined than it did. The center looks way more defined than what it did last time recorded. So let's go in here. So the header for this advisory, this is the third public advisory that is issued on Tropical Depression 4. Tropical Depression forms off the south coast of Cuba, expected to become a tropical storm over the southeastern Gulf of Mexico by late Saturday. So let's go into the forecast of the public advisory, I should say. This is Tropical Depression 4 Advisory number 3. As always, this is issued by the National Hurricane Center in Miami, Florida. This is the 11 p.m. advisory. Tropical depression forms off the south coast of Cuba, expected to become a tropical storm over the southeastern Gulf of Mexico by late Saturday. Then the summary is about 75 miles south of Caribbean, Cuba, or about 260 miles southeast of Key West, Florida. Its maximum sustained winds are at 30 miles per hour. Its movement is west-northwest at 17 miles an hour, and its minimum central pressure is 1,010 millibars. There has been a change with this advisory. Tropical storm warning has been issued for the dry tortugas. Then, summary of watches and warnings in effect currently. A tropical storm warning is in effect for the dry tortugas, west coast of the Florida Peninsula from East Cape Sable to Boca Grande. Tropical storm watch is in effect for the Florida Keys south of the Card Sound Bridge, the southern coast of the Florida Peninsula east of East Cape Sable to the Card Sound Bridge, the west coast of the Florida Peninsula north of Boca Grande to the mouth of the Suwannee River. Storm surge watch is in effect for Bonita Beach northward to the mouth of the Suwannee River, including Tampa Bay and Charlotte Harbor. Tropical storm warning means that tropical storm conditions are expected somewhere within the warning area within 36 hours. Tropical storm watch means that tropical storm conditions are possible within the watch area, generally within 48 hours. A storm surge watch means that there's a possibility of life-threatening inundation from rising water moving inland from the coastline in the indicated locations during the next 48 hours. For a depiction of areas at risk, please see the National Weather Service Storm Surge Watch Warning graphic available at hurricanes.gov. Interests elsewhere in Florida and the southeastern coast of the United States should monitor the progress of the system. Additional watches and warnings will likely be required for a portion of this area on Saturday. For storm information specific to your area, including possible inland watches and warnings. Please monitor products issued by your local National Weather Service forecast office. Then the discussion and outlook. At 11 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, or 3 UTC, 0300 UTC, the center of Tropical Depression 4 was located near latitude 21.4 north, longitude 79.7 west. The depression is moving toward the west-northwest near 17 miles an hour. The turn toward the northwest is forecast on Saturday, followed by a slower motion toward the north and then the northeast on Sunday and Monday. On the forecast track, the center of the depression will move across Cuba overnight and on Saturday, then move generally northward over the eastern Gulf of Mexico Saturday and Sunday, potentially reaching the Florida Gulf Coast late Sunday or Monday. Maximum sustained winds are near 30 miles per hour with higher gusts. Strengthening is forecast during the next several days, and the depression is forecast to become a tropical storm on Saturday and continue strengthening over the eastern Gulf of Mexico through the weekend. The estimated minimum central pressure is 1,010 millibars. Now the hazards affecting wind. Affecting land, not wind. There's a moth in here. So winds. Tropical storm conditions are... Sorry, that moth started crawling on me. I don't know where it went. So the winds. Tropical storm conditions are expected in the warning area late Saturday and Saturday night. Tropical storm conditions are possible within the watch area in the Florida Keys and southern Florida Peninsula by Saturday or Saturday night. Tropical storm conditions are possible in the watch area along the Florida West Coast Saturday night and Sunday. Storm surge. The combination of storm surge and tide will cause normally dry areas near the coast to be flooded by rising waters moving inland from the shoreline. The water could reach the following heights above ground somewhere in the indicated areas if the peak surge occurs at the time of high tide. Bonita Beach, Florida to Swanee River, Florida, 2 to 4 feet. Tampa Bay, 2 to 4 feet. Charlotte Harbor, 2 to 4 feet. Cardstown Bridge, Florida to Bonita Beach, Florida, 1 to 3 feet. And the Dry Tortuga is 1 to 2 feet. Rainfall. Tropical Depression 4 is expected to produce rainfall totals of 4 to 8 inches, with maximum rainfall totals up to 12 inches across portions of Florida and along the southeast U.S. coast this weekend through Wednesday. This rainfall may result in areas of locally considerable flash and urban flooding, with isolated river flooding possible. For Cuba, rainfall amounts of 1 to 2 inches with localized higher amounts will be possible through Saturday. This may result in isolated, scattered areas of flooding. I'm not going to read that entire thing. I've already read that out. If you want to see me read that part, go to my last video that I posted, which was the 5 p.m. advisory. Tornadoes. A tornado or two is possible across the Florida Keys and the western Florida Peninsula Saturday night through Sunday morning. And actually, while I'm on that, I might as well pull up the SPC. It's day 2. Yeah, I guess it would be day 2, wouldn't it? So they have marked a marginal risk down here because of the threat from Tropical Depression 4. If we look at the tornado, they have a 2 tor in place right now that's likely going to go up in time. I'm not able to stream that, fortunately, unless like if landfall happens around this time, I'll be able to stream it, but I'm not sure. It all depends on when the anticipated landfall is. So the next intermediate advisory is at 2 a.m., so about an hour from time I'm recording. We usually don't. I don't on this channel go for like the 5 a.m. advisories or the 2 a.m. advisories, just because that's when everyone's sleeping. So yeah, that's the latest advisory for Tropical Depression 4. We will see if there's been any changes with the peak. 75 knots? What? Hold on. What? Huh? Did I look at the right thing? 35 knot, 45 knot, 55 knot. Oh, it was gusts. 60 knots. I should have pulled that up as well. It's about a 70-mile-per-hour peak now that they're expecting out of the system. And I'll show you all why they have done that in a minute once we finish up with our next. Well, I'll show you guys the cone again. Now, I do want to remind you all that the center of the cone isn't where this thing could go. Turn the line on for you guys. The center of this isn't where it could go. It could go on the more western side, or it could go on the more eastern side as well. Especially up here by late Monday is when we don't have the most confidence on where this thing is going to go yet. Expect more watches and warnings being issued for Tallahassee, Panama City, Charleston, Savannah, all those areas, maybe Cape Hatteras at some point as well. Expect all those areas to go under a watch sometime within the next 2 days. For like Tallahassee, Panama City area, that could even be as soon as the 2 a.m. advisory today. So that's the cone for Tropical Depression 4, soon to be Tropical Storm Debbie. So now let's go over to Carlotta, which is a hurricane here in the Eastern Pacific. This is the 8 p.m. advisory. This is Pacific Daylight Time, so equal to the 11 p.m. advisory. Carlotta is heading westward. I'm not going to go through all this because it's not really a threat to land. Maximum sustained winds are at 85 miles an hour. It's moving west at 14. Central pressure is 981 millibars. No coastal watches or warnings. At 8 p.m., the center of Hurricane Carlotta was located near latitude 18.8 north, longitude 117.9 west. Carlotta is moving toward the west near 14 miles an hour, and this motion is expected to continue for the next day or so. By Saturday night, a turn to the west-northwest is forecast. Maximum sustained winds are near 85 miles an hour with higher gusts. Additional strengthening is forecast within the next day, followed by steady weakening through early next week. This is a very small system. Mainly, the only hazards affecting land is surf. Still generated by Carlotta along the coast of west central mainland Mexico and southern Baja California peninsula are beginning to subside and should diminish by Sunday. Please consult blogs from your local weather office. Next complete advisories at 2 a.m. or 5 a.m. here. So that's really it here with Carlotta. Take a look at the cone. There's not an M on here, and it should be a tropical depression by 5 p.m. Tuesday. Like I said, there's not really much here with the Eastern Pacific. We do have these two areas that we're watching. Both of them are producing scattered thunderstorms. Not really much to go off of here. But now let's take a look at our systems here. So first, let's start off with Tropical Depression 4. While we wait for this to load, if you guys are liking what I do on this channel, please consider subscribing. And donating to the channel as well. My Venmo will be in the description down below if you have the means to. All proceeds donated to the channel goes right back into the channel. Whether it's getting a car, getting a drone for storm chasing, which I plan on doing eventually. All that good stuff. But this is our current view of Tropical Depression 4 right now. When I did the update earlier, I wasn't able to show you guys much of this at all. Mainly because my brother got home and he doesn't really like me recording, but it is what it is. But as you can see, we do now have an area spin just off the coast of Cuba here. If we change it to visible shortwave imagery, you can see that we do have that spin in the atmosphere now. We do have a low level circulation here with the system, which has caused the National Hurricane Center to designate it as Tropical Depression 4. We have this burst of thunderstorms right here. We just need a little bit more here in order to classify it as Debbie. But now let's go to Hurricane Carlotta here. When we were looking at it earlier, we saw a well-defined eye, and it's trying. It's definitely trying to get its eye cleared up again, but it's having a really hard time doing that. I personally don't. Once again, this won't hit anything. At most, it'll bring waves to Hawaii, but it's not really going to do anything else. I don't think we have any recon going out. Yeah, we have no recon that went out. Not currently, at least. So now, finally, let's take a look at the model runs. The 0Z H, not HRRR, the 0Z GFS is currently loading. But here's Tropical Depression 4 here. 999, 996. So GFS wants a weak tropical storm making landfall here in Florida. This is valid at 6Z on the 5th. That's about 2 a.m. on August 5th when this thing should be making landfall. Emerges on the southeastern coast. Strengthens into either a weak hurricane or something, or a strong tropical storm, makes landfall again. and goes off the coast. I might get decent rain out of that, honestly. And then GFS randomly pops this thing up. I believe that's the remnant. No. It's not the remnants of TD4. Obviously, as always, you have to take this with a grain of salt because it is so far out. Other than that, not much really happens in the Atlantic within the next 2 weeks after Tropical Depression 4. Now let's take a look in the Eastern Pacific. Let's see what we have over there quickly, and then we'll end this video. So there's Carlotta. She continues to spin away. Seems like we might have a Fujiwara effect trying to happen here with this thing. That's a much larger system. Then that rapidly weakens as well, spins off, and then we have a new wave form that doesn't do anything. So that'll do it for me today, guys. I'll be up at about 11 a.m. tomorrow. I'll get another video out pretty much as soon as I can. I do work 3 to 9 tomorrow, so I'll miss the 2 p.m. advisory. Yeah, I won't have a video out for the 2 p.m. advisory. Won't have one out for the 5 p.m. advisory. And I probably won't have one out for the 8 p.m. advisory either. The only videos you'll probably get from me tomorrow is the 11 a.m. advisory. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, peace out.